actually speaks in front of groups here? I'll give you a quick 30-second tip. Anybody? Okay. If you go to the GNA Mastermind group, I posted a link that will help you with your speaking. There's one way, well, go to the link, it's a way you can project your voice to the back of the room without shouting. Anyway, if you speak in front of anybody, even if it's a handful of people, go to that link. It has some very, very good information. All you Toastmasters people, I think Glenn saw it, has some outstanding information if you're a speaker. Okay, so Mr. Hollywood back there, Mike Aguilera, speaker, and we have a tradition here. We want to honor the speaker and give him a proper introduction. So we have him go all the way back to the end there. Ooh. And it's my pleasure to introduce Mike. Mike and I are friends. We've gotten to know each other actually through networking events over the past few years. So Mike is a communication expert and author. He's also a coach, and he also puts on business expos, and he'll have an opportunity to announce 2 of them coming up at the end when we have announcements. And he's going to raffle off his book today, and the title of his book is Connect with Anyone in 90 Seconds or Less. How many of you like that idea? Oh. Yes or yes? All right. Yes. So he's going to be discussing how to identify and understand different communication styles to make powerful connections and profitable business relationships. It's a mini course in neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, and if you're not familiar, Mike will explain what that is, for communication skills for business and leadership, and he'll help you truly move your business forward on a personal, one-to-one level. And you can look at his website for more information, mikeaguilera.com, and you can see more information about his book. So let's all stand up and give a warm welcome to our guest speaker, Mike Aguilera.
We need it for the video.
Okay, we need it for the video. Who's familiar with NLP in the room? Oh, okay. And for those that are not, what Ron was mentioning, the form of training that I do training and coaching internationally in NLP and communication skills. And NLP stands for N for neuron, as in the mind, the thoughts. L for linguistics, so it's verbal, the word you use, and your body language. And P for program, the programs or patterns people go through, or we all go through to make sense of things. And if you met a word, this is Tony Robbins, his foundation of this thing is based on NLP. And that's where I became introduced to NLP through one of his books. And then I started doing more research, took some more shots, and eventually got to the point where I started to go through certification. So I've been certified as a practitioner, then master practitioner, then a trainer. So when I first came across NLP, it's one of those things where you tell yourself, this can really help me in my business and career and the relationship. And it does. And I'm sure we'll do some powerful concepts on this. And so I've invested hundreds of hours in NLP to be certified, and thousands of dollars. Just the practitioner level is 18 days and about $3,000 to $5,000. So I really jumped into this. And what I want to do is share with you some golden nuggets that will help you in your business relationships. And Ron and Elias and Eric were saying, people first need to know you, as they're knowing people here now, as they're networking, they need people like you or trust you. And so with NLP, there's some powerful concepts about rapport and how to really connect with people. And that's what I'm going to share with you are some communication styles. And does everyone have a handout? Are we okay with the sound?
No.
Oh, can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Can you move the microphone up? All right. So I'm going to go through some concepts, and it's also, I'll be wrapping off my book, Connect with Anyone in 90 Seconds or Less, at the end of the event, and I have a few others with me. And with NLP, there's some modules or some things I'm going to cover. Because NLP is monolithic therapists that are creating amazing change in people, helping them with bad habits, overcome phobias, breakthroughs. And there's elements of NLP for therapy on doing certain techniques, but there's also elements of NLP on how the therapist would really connect with the client. Really creating that rapport and understanding the communication style, the words they were using, what they were revealing by the response, their body language, and questions they were asking that really engage them to reveal some information and also to create change in their life. So I'm going to share with you some concepts in this session. Within my book, I go through 4 modules, 4 parts. Part 1 is just the mindset to really connect with people, to approach someone, to have that unstoppable confidence, and to have that charisma. Then part 2 is the connection. When you first meet someone, those first vital few 2 to 7 seconds to give that first good impression. And then part 3, the conversation. What you can pick up during a conversation that will help you understand someone's communication style. And also, as important to understand your own communication style, because you're right now talking and understanding things and presenting things in a way that's natural for you. However, it may not be the way someone else can hear it or experience it. And so I'll cover some concepts on that. And then part 4 is a follow-up. When you have to follow up with someone, what you can do to reconnect and regain that rapport. So first off, the mindset. I want to cover some key concepts on the mindset. There are 4 things in the mindset that are really powerful that will help you really get in line and present and build that confidence within yourself and also project a certain sense of confidence. So first is, 1, your intention. You have to have good intentions. Your intention has to be, as we're here, to help somebody. Either help them with a situation, help them financially, help them overcome a certain challenge they're having, maybe help them reduce stress, help them create more joy in their life, just help them. The wrong intention would be just to get their money. And people will sense that in your body language and your words. So first you have to have the right intention, because that will project and impact what you communicate with people. Number 2 is your outcome. You need to have an outcome in mind. And the outcome could be to set another meeting, to sign them up to work with you, to motivate them, to inspire them, whatever it is, you need to have an outcome, because that will also help you structure your thoughts in the moment to say, okay, what's my outcome? What else should I be doing to have them feel confident to work with me, or whatever it is. So intention and your outcome, you need to have an outcome. The third is your expectations. You have to expect things to go well, because if you expect something to go wrong, you expect the meeting to go wrong, you expect the person not to be happy or like what you're going to offer, present, it'll impact the way you're going to interact with that person. There's lots of studies done on that, and I won't go into a lot of it. I go through a lot of it in my book, in my workshops. However, just be aware that your expectations will impact the way you interact with people. Because if you expect someone to be nice, if you expect them to like what you have to offer, your voice, your body language all shifts in a different way. If you expect them not to like what they're going to present, you will then be on the fence. They will sense that. So your expectations, your expectations have to be in line in a positive way. And then the 4th key to really connect with someone and project that confidence is being confident. Being confident in yourself, what you have to offer to service that person, and being confident in your product or service. So that I would coach people, and I would see people, they would present, they'd be talking, and then they get to the end where they're going to either offer something or suggest something, and they start to stumble. And I think you should really sign up, and I think you can tell they're not confident at that point. So you really need to ingrain in your mind to say, I'm confident. And first it's a confidence in you, because people will first gravitate towards you, no matter what service or product you're representing. And so you need to feel and project that confidence that I'm here to service you, I'm here to help you, and that intention and that outcome. And then feel confident about what you have to offer. But first you need to feel confident, project that confidence that they're in good hands. Does that make sense? So far, good. Okay, good. In regards to connecting with people on body language, in NLP there's terms called visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. And this will help you then start to understand someone's communication style, your own, and where you may be making some either losing opportunities or really connecting with people. There's one gentleman I'm coaching right now, he's the top manager in a high-tech company, and he was telling me of a challenge he said. He said, we were meeting, the CEO was in the room, and I was ready to give my presentation, and I stood up and I told him what I was going to present on, and the CEO said, I'm not sure what are you going to present on, what are you talking about? And he said, my counterpart, actually the VP, said, well, I think so-and-so, or the thing is Mike also, I think Mike is going to present on this and talk about this. And the CEO says, oh, okay, now I understand. And then Mike, the gentleman I'm coaching, says, and I thought to myself, isn't that what I just said? And I said, well, actually what you just told me, you said kind of the same thing. You use certain words and you express it in a certain way to where the CEO didn't understand it, or it not matter of understanding, it just wasn't clear. So it's just like talking a different language. And so you might have experienced also, in your case, you may be saying something, presenting something to somebody, and they won't tell you, I don't understand it, they'll just be confused and walk away. And so you need to be aware of communication style, and also the impact of what visual, auditory, and kinesthetic is, so that you can really talk someone's language and really connect with them. So, who has heard of VAK, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, in the room? Okay. For those that haven't, I'll kind of express it in a different way. The other powerful thing about VAK and the languaging and NLP, it's a term called matching and mirroring. Who has heard of matching and mirroring? Okay. So for those that haven't, and for those that have, I'll expand on this a little bit more. Matching and mirroring simply means to reflect back that person. If they stand a certain way, you stand a certain way. And what happens is you get this what's called a tribal effect. So you get a sense that you're like them. And so it helps accelerate the rapport. I take it a step further. I just say match their energy. So they're really high energy, just increase their energy. Their slow energy, slow down their energy. And that will, again, create that tribal effect. So you don't have to match exactly their gesture, just connect with them, and it resonates with them. It creates that harmony and a sense of safeness as they're around someone. Because if someone's real high energy and you're real low energy, they really sense that you're so different. Or if someone's low energy and they're hearing someone that's high energy, they're going to say, whoa, this person's just too much. So you need to adjust and be aware of that. And so with matching and mirroring, the first thing I suggest you do is just simply connect with them at the energy level. And they will sense that and feel a sense of safety, and the rapport will start to build. So some other things you can do to create that matching and mirroring and that rapport in those vital few seconds is identify if they're VAK, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Visual means they tend to present things and experience things based on what they see, and they'll talk that way when you use certain gestures, and I'll explain that in a moment. Audio, or auditory, is someone that's more primarily based on hearing things. They make decisions, they'll express things based on sounds. And kinesthetic is more on the people that tend to make decisions based on their feelings and sensations. So how can you identify that across the room before you can approach someone, so you can then connect with them as you just, for a vital few seconds. A visual person, if you watch a visual person across the room, even without knowing them, they will tend to use their hands to make pictures. They'll say, oh yeah, and over here we're going to do this, and if you sit right here, or you do this, or if you go drive down the road and turn left, and so they will use their hands to actually recreate a picture that's right in front of them. So I can see a visual person across the room and say, okay, that person's visual. And so that means I need to be aware of that, so when I walk up to them, I'm going to think about visual words to use, maybe some visual gestures, or just actually show them a picture, because that's what they need to see to really process something, to help them to make a decision. And it's not like they're not going to understand you, just that they have to then translate what you're saying and use different language and different gestures. So visual person gestures that you can start to match and mirror and create that energy with them, is just watch their gestures alone. Visual person will also tend to have higher energy, because they're making pictures, and they tend to talk faster also. So their gestures are pictures, their voice speed is a little fast, and their energy level is a little higher. So they tend to be moving around a lot. So my intuition is that Elias is a visual person.
Hi, Mike.
And that's also why he loves video.
I'm hard to miss, right? Yeah.
And so there would be a specific way I would talk to Elias so that he would connect and understand what I'm saying. If I was presenting to Elias a workshop, I would use visual words. I would say, so Elias, I have an NLP workshop coming up. I want you to see that this is something that you can see yourself doing, and you can picture yourself really connecting with your clients, so that your vision of your future and connecting with more people is just really clear, and it feels good to you. So for Elias, that makes sense. For other people, it wouldn't be as clear. It wouldn't make sense. But does that make sense to you, Elias?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if someone was talking in a different language, or different A or K, audio or kinesthetic, Elias will listen, and he'd have to kind of translate that, and you may lose that opportunity to really connect with them in a few seconds. And so that's just one thing to connect with a visual person. Auditory persons. An auditory person's gestures across the room, you can watch, are almost like the music conductors. Oh yeah, and they're creating the rhythm. And you see their hand just kind of, they're having a rhythm in their mind, and so the gestures will kind of reinforce that. And this is what we should do, and this is what you're going to like about it. And my workshop can help you in doing this, and then so you can see someone across the room using their hands just like a music conductor, and you say, okay, this person is sensitive to sounds, and my intuition, he's auditory, or she's auditory. And so an auditory person, the way I would present information to them would be, instead of saying, can you see yourself doing this, or using visual words like that, like see, picture, clear, visual, vision, I would use auditory words like, how does it sound to you? Or, for example, an auditory person, I could have a conversation with them and say, you've probably been talking to yourself about how you can improve your business. And I want to talk with you and have a conversation with you about how my workshop can help you. Does this sound like something you can cook with you? Does this sound like something that you can have an improvement in your communication skills, so you can really have some great conversations with your clients that will help grow your business? So for an auditory person, that makes sense. For a visual person like Elias, he's thinking, let me make some pictures about that and then translate that where it makes sense to me. And so that's how you create that rapport instantly and start to connect with people, even without, again, just watching them across the room. And for me, I'm an auditory person, so you'll still see my gestures moving around like this. So I'm high auditory and visual, and then I go to kinesthetic. Kinesthetic people. Their gestures, and a kinesthetic means as in sensations, words like feeling, solid, concrete, sense. And so they're into the feelings and the sensations. And so as a kinesthetic person, you can watch across when the gestures will be more inclusive of how they feel. They'll rub their face, or they'll rub their hands. They're kind of sensing how they feel about what you're talking about. So you can sense it and watch it across the room. And then now when you approach a kinesthetic person, you then also, energy-wise, visual is more motion, auditory is more in mid-range, and kinesthetic is slow, really slowing down. They'll slow down because they're into the moment and how they feel. So if you're a visual person and you want to connect and create rapport and trust and confidence with a kinesthetic person, you need to slow down so that they can really feel safe around you, create that rapport. So a kinesthetic person, again, the gestures across the room would be more in how they're feeling about something. They'll touch themselves, their hands, and they're kind of getting that sense of what they're saying or what they're hearing. And their motions and gestures will be slower. They'll walk slower. They'll talk slower. And even for Elias, an auditory or visual person, a kinesthetic person tends to talk slower also. And Elias will, usually as a visual person, will say, okay, get to the point. How can I help you? How can I help you? Well, I'm thinking about this, and maybe you can, I don't know how I feel about this. And Elias is very visual, and he's quite, I need pictures. I need to really get understanding. So Elias will break the rapport, or at least not have that rapport with him. And so even for Elias, he needs to then be aware, okay, that person tends to be, or kinesthetic, so I need to be aware of that and sense of that, and just slow down and know that they're into the moment and to feelings. And so I need to just get out of my own communication style and connect into their world. So the words that you use with a kinesthetic person would be on sensation, on feelings. And sensations and feelings would be like, I have a workshop coming up, and I want you to feel confident about this workshop, how it can help you. I want you to get a good sense on how it will help you grow your team and connect with people. And it's a solid idea that there's some techniques in here that can improve and really help. And it's something that I know in the future, a month from now, years from now, you're going to feel great about what you learned looking back. So those are more of the kinesthetic words. And again, it'll make sense to kinesthetic people. They'll say, okay, I understand what you're saying, but auditory, visual people. And when I say auditory, visual, or visual, auditory, kinesthetic, it's not that that's the only way you need to hear things or experience things. It's just that's your kind of reflex reaction of how you need to process information. Because in some cases you may need to see something first and then talk about it, or kind of switch things around. But it's just that reflex reaction that you have when you're going to make a decision to process information. I need to hear things. And even when you are learning, you probably have this natural modality of, okay, I want to see something, I want to see a video on that. Or that's a visual person. Auditory person might say, okay, I want to hear the audio. I'm okay just hearing the audio files. And a kinesthetic person is the kind of person that needs to hold the book and wants to really feel it and get a sense of the book and the pages. And so even the learning style is the same. And for extreme, there's visual, and then I would sense with Ron, is what we think Ron is. To me, my intuition is he's kinesthetic. Pardon? Well, kinesthetic and auditory, they're very high, but to me, Ron is more into the feelings and sensations and feeling good about it. He he loves experiences, and so he's very much into the feelings of it. He loves coming to the events to connect with people and the experience. He loves the experience of learning things, his voice pattern, the words he uses. And so with Ron, I would express things about workshops and how the experience of this workshop is going to be great for you. You're going to really connect with people. It's going to be, you're going to have this warm feeling about what you're going to learn and how it's going to help other people. And so for Ron, that makes sense. But for others, it may not. So give me some more concrete ideas, give me some more information. But just using those few simple words will create that rapport and connection with that type person. Does that make sense? Is this helpful so far? You said yes. And there's a whole series of exercises that we can go through that we won't have time, however, because I want to cover some other key points. However, that's just kind of an outline of what visual, auditory, kinesthetic. And you, again, may have heard this before in the past, which is good. It's a good reinforcement. And my intent was kind of reinforce that for you that have, and also just share some concepts on how important it can be, how it can help you accelerate your business and connect with people. Because the gentleman that I'm coaching, and one of the high-tech in the high-tech field, he used certain words, and he used kinesthetic words, and the CEO was a visual person. So I explained that to him. After, this is why your CEO says, I don't understand what you're going to be talking about. I'm confused. And then he said, my counterpart expressed it in this way. I said, yeah, he expressed it in a visual way of what you're going to be presenting about. And that's when the CEO said, okay, now I understand what you're saying. So it's very subtle, but it's very impactful in just seconds. He just announced that it was going to present what he's going to talk about, and the CEO said, I'm confused. So that's how important and powerful it can be to help connect with people. Any questions on BOK? Because I want to go to another exercise. Okay. If not, I'll be here after. We can talk about this in my workshops in the book. This is something that's fun. Everyone has the notes, right? So you see 3 quarters on the bottom. And so what I want you to do is, as you look at those 3 quarters, simply note down 3 or 4 things. I just want you to note down the relationship between those 3 quarters. The relationship between those 3 quarters. Just write down 3 or 4 things as you look at those 3 quarters, and just write down what you see as the relationship between those 3 quarters. Just write down 3, 4 things that pop in your mind as you look at those 3 quarters. Whatever pops in mind, 3, 4 things, 2, 3 things, as you look at the relationship of those 3 coins, what pops in your mind? What's that? 75 cents.
75 cents.
We're all equal in value.
Okay, well, Sandy, you said all equal in value, and what's the second thing? Did you write anything else?
Yeah, but they're all heads up.
All heads up, okay. Anything else?
None of them are straight.
None of them are straight, okay.
They're in the center of the base.
Who was up different?
Not a line,
Not a line?
and they point to different directions. So
Okay.
Elevating, graduate, increasing in position.
Oh, okay, so the positioning is different.
Right, and equal positions apart.
Okay. The coloring? You notice how they're different, Cliff? Okay. Anyone else?
The
One
first
more
one
person?
looks smaller than the others.
One looks
Yeah.
optical illusion. Yes,
Unorganized.
unorganized. And then what else? Anything else? Okay. So are you ready to understand what this reveals? Come on, you want to write what tell me what you wrote? I'm curious.
the first thing I noticed is that they're facing different directions.
Okay. Okay, like Sandy. Okay. Anything else?
They were not in a row, they were slightly off.
Yeah. Okay.
And I kept looking and looking and looking, and I couldn't pick it up.
Well, this is very insightful because this will reveal how you see the world. This is one of the 5 questions that I go through in my book in the workshop. And this is referred to sameness differences. And so what it reveals is Ron and Sandy and a few of you saw what was different. How it elevated, how they were all different. Oh, no, you said they were the same, right, Sandy?
I said they were the equal in currency.
Yeah, the legal and currency, they were the same. So Avi was saying what they were different about Ron, and then someone else was saying they were inconsistent and some differences. And so what that reveals is Ron will notice what's different about things and will express how things are different. Sandy will talk about how their company and the product is the same as other multi-million-dollar companies or whatever. I mean, you will tend to express things that are the same, and you will tend to look at things and look for what's the same or what's different. And so a different person will tend to have a collection of things like ceramics or yacht rope or whatever it is, and they will notice the difference in all those pieces. My wife has a bunch of birdhouses she put in the backyard, like 7 of them all scattered out the backyard. Why another birdhouse? To me, they all look the same. She goes, no, they're different. They're very differences. So she will say, this one's different, that one. I go, okay, they are different, but to me, they all look like birdhouses. They're all birdhouses. So now that I know she's very differences, I just, okay, she's differences. I'm going to have to just express that and understand that and then connect with that. And so what will happen, and then any of you know, Cesar Plata, right? Info Bear. He is an extreme difference person. I'm at events with him, and I'm standing next to him, and he's telling people about his upcoming events, and someone will say, and it was one huge event we were at, and it was about 300 people, and the person said, oh, okay, so you have an upcoming event. He goes, and she asked him, are they the same as this event? He goes, no, it's different. It's completely different. So she was expressing, she noticed she was looking for sameness. And Cesar aggressively responded back in his way, no, mine are different. And so he broke the rapport right there. He should have said something like, well, it's the same that there's a lot of professionals. However, this is how we're different. This is how my events are different. So that the rapport is there. Because if she goes to his events, she's going to walk in and say, no, it's the same. It looks the same. And the credibility and the trust won't be there. So you need to understand the person, and they'll express it in their language. You know, how is this the same to other companies? Is this the same as other companies that I've heard about? And well, you can say, well, it's the same that it has the same kind of opportunity, but this is how we're different. So don't argue with them. Just go with them in regards to that's what they tend to see and tend to notice. And then that's what you tend to see and notice. And so it's your challenge to be flexible. And once you're flexible with your communications and understanding other communication styles, then you'll have more doors of opportunity to connect with more people. Because as I mentioned right now, you're seeing the world and seeing things that are the same, and someone else is seeing something that's completely different. And you're wondering, how come they're not hearing my message? And then you're talking maybe visual, auditory, and kinesthetic in a certain way, and they're really not understanding you. They walk away saying, let me think about it. And say, wow, God, I thought they really liked it. I don't understand. I felt like it was a great connection, or I felt the presentation went well. However, they still walk away. So in regards to communication style, that's the power of it. You have your own communication style. I have my own. We all do. And it's just like personality styles. And so one element is that you see sameness or difference, and there's gradients. You see maybe the same, and maybe a little difference. So you had that. Yes.
So in this situation that you described, how would you know if somebody asks you, is it the same event or a different one? How would you know to say same or different?
I would start off with same. If they start off with same, I would start off with same. And one way you can also kind of start to, you can, without even asking, you can just start to have a conversation with someone. Just say, hey, so how's business this year as it relates, from last year? They say, oh, it's the same, same challenges, same struggle, or oh, it's so different this year. Last year, it was so this year we're doing much better. So they'll express it as you ask them questions like that. How is business as it relates to last year, or how's business this year? And they'll start to say how it's the same or different. And you'll say, okay, this person has any other questions? How much? Yes.
I had an experience in a class where we had to go out into a watery area and observe and come back and write about what we saw. And everyone in the classroom saw trash in the water, but I didn't. And it's been bothering me ever since.
So they were seeing what was wrong, what was different, what was wrong. You were seeing what was the same, what was beautiful, or what was good around you. So yes, that's also in regards to, again, the filtering in regards to what we see based on what we express. And so for you, I'm okay with it now, so I guess the question, it's not like you said it bothered you. Just, when you saw the coins, what did you express in the coins?
In the coins?
Yeah, what were...
Oh, that they were the same distance apart.
Sameness?
They were the same distance as they graduated up.
Sameness.
It's sameness, I saw.
Yeah, and so people that, most of the people in that class we're talking about were probably looking for differences. What's wrong, what's different? And so you walked out to see what's the same. Okay, this is another beautiful area. This is beautiful.
Yes, is there an average of, I should say, are more people visual, audio, or, what's the averages? Or does it vary with, like, occupation?
Yeah, I've heard different statistics, and so I don't have something concrete on that. The best is just to actually test and check and look and ask them, and listen to the words that they're using and their gestures. And then from that, because there are some statistics that I don't think they're really valid. There hasn't been anything that's scientifically as far as I know. Any other questions? I have a few minutes. I want to do one quick exercise. How many in the room have heard me present before? I know Ron and, okay. For the rest of you haven't. Just the power of what I call subconscious communication. So for those that have done this with me, just go ahead and play along. I'm going to say the word POTS, P-O-T-S, like pots and pans. And I just simply want you to spell it out. P-O-T-S. And I'll ask you a quick question after I do it 3 times. So for those that have done this with me before in the past, just play along and watch and have some fun. You guys ready?
Yes.
Ready? POTS. P-O-T-S. POTS. P-O-T-S. POTS. P-O-T-S. What do you do when you come to green light? You? Stop. Green light.
Never fails, huh, Mike?
What's that?
Never fails, huh?
People have done this with me in the past, and they're train of thought. And so I guess quickly one in terms of the things about subconscious communication.
STOP.
The word POTS is stop, spell backwards, and sound like stop. So there's certain words that you can be using that will create a train of thought. Either a positive train of thought, which says, hire me, work with me, with confident, or maybe a mixed message, a mixed negative train of thought. Then I did 2 things with my body language. Anyone pick that up? It was international stop signal, and I also pressed on the brakes. And then I did 1/3 thing with my voice. Because your voice is a musical instrument. And I go through voice patterns in my workshops in my book. And the voice that I use was more of a voice of alarm. What do you do when you come to green light? And so that created that experience of, stop. When you know, you should go. And so what are you doing with your emotions, your voice, and your words that are creating stop effects with your clients? When they say, let me stop and think about it, versus you want them to say, hire me, work with me with confidence, or sign up with me. And so the words that you're using, the motions, the way you approach people, where you stand, how you hand things to people, your voice, all of that is creating an impact at an unconscious level where they're going to respond in the same way where you respond to someone, either with confidence or not. But I only have a few more minutes. Any quick questions to wrap things up? Has this been helpful? Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we're going to raffle off one of my books, and just simply put your card in a basket or something, and we'll pull it out. And then also, for those that want information about my upcoming workshops, I'll have half-day and full-day workshops, and I put together a special discount for the GNA members. And for I'm either going to have it in November or December, so if you like what you heard here, you're going to love the full-day or half-day workshop. And just put on your card, workshop, with just WS, and I'll get back to you with some information about the workshop. Yes, Ron. So while we're collecting cards, I'll just quickly make 2 announcements. I have a couple of expos, because I do training and coaching internationally, and I also like to put together the unique expos where I can promote myself as a speaker and put together unique venues and events. So I have, in next year, 2012, I have, one is how to start your own business, how to be your own boss. That'll be at the Santa Clara Convention Center. And then the second one is targeting baby boomers and seniors. It's a baby boomer senior expo. So it's resources and information for baby boomers and seniors. If it's estate planning, if it's health, if it's medical equipment, health plans, a little bit of home improvement. And so for those that are targeting baby boomers, again, contact me or put it on your card and I'll get back to you with information on the expo. And then one other thing that I'm doing that's to promote the expo, primarily initiated with the Baby Boomer Senior Expo. In January 1st, 2012 in San Jose, plastic bags are not going to be allowed anymore in stores. Probably, some of you heard that, some of you are not aware of that. And so I'm taking that as an opportunity to use goodwill gesture and promote the expos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create fabric bags, reusable bags, and have people pay to have their information on the bags. And so I have 2,600 that are going to go into the villages. That's where I first started. The villages is a retirement community in San Jose that has 4,000 senior residents. It's a gated community. So I'm going to hand the bags out free, deliver them door to door to the villages. They'll have information about the expo. And other people already have probably about 9 people that want to be on the bag, from dental, council on aging, health physicians. And so for those that want information about that, and I'm going to, now that what I've done now, I've extended that, I'm going to do bags and hand them out in the Evergreen area, also in the Blossville area, and also in the Almaden area. So I'm going to have 5,000 bags printed up, and I'm going to have them handed out in front of Safeways and Lucky's as people come in shopping at the 1st of January. So it will be where they'll pay goodwill because they're not going to be prepared to buy a paper bag for 10 cents or 20 cents, or they're not going to be prepared with their own reusable bag. And so the bag is a good way to really connect, create goodwill, and then for them to see your information every time they go shopping, and other people see it. They'll pick up the bag, and it'll be an ongoing walking billboard. So if they go shopping twice a week, 3 times a week, it'll be promotion all year long. So if you want information about the bags, give me your card or contact me also, and I'll share with you what I'm doing. And also, we're going to now pull out the magic card. Are we ready? We're going to have to help now. Make lots of time.
Suzanne Benson.
Suzanne. Okay. Here you go, Suzanne. I'll end up with a quote that I like. Watch your thoughts. Your thoughts will impact your words. Watch your words. Your words will impact your actions. Watch your actions. Your actions will impact your habits. Watch your habits. Your habits will impact your character. And ultimately, watch your character, because your character will impact your destiny. So you heard it before, success is an inside job. It starts with your thoughts. Expect to have a great day. Expect to meet great people here. Expect miracles to happen. And your emotions, your energy, your language, and everything will shift, and people will be attracted towards you. So with that in mind, I wish you great success. Thank you very much. Bye.